Ray, what's going on, man?
No, just kind of cleaning up around the shop and checking things out, you know, looking at different stuff.
Cool. You know, I was thinking what we might could do for a 5 guns video. I started getting a couple of guns out here. I don't know if I'm really in the right direction or not.
I don't know, kind of. I mean, looking at the way people have been talking about their finances and all lately, it's been kind of, you know, kind of nonchalant. People don't have a lot of money after spending on vacation and blowing all their tax money.
Look out behind. What is going on here?
What? Really?
What do you
You're
want?
back again?
Why are you? Ray, this doesn't look like a lot of money. I think he's wanting to buy a cheap gun.
I think you're right.
Well, let's clean all this money out of the way and let's talk about 5 guns that are for the budget-minded people. We tried to keep this concept around $200. We're trying to stay about $200 and below. We know people don't really have a ton of money right now to spend, so that's why we're trying to sort of keep it into the budget-minded thing. So this is going to be 5 guns for the budget-minded gun buyer. Let's get to it.
I think we got a few good choices for you.
Absolutely.
Here. All right.
We hope you enjoyed our humorous little intro there. We were trying to be funny, bringing back Barry for a little bit for you. Some of you guys that have been a little nostalgic. You know, his ghost came and filled up the high point suit for us. So we've been thinking about budget-minded handguns and rifles, shotguns, all these sort of things. And we've gotten a ton of questions from you guys, and they're wanting to know, hey, you know, what are some of these just budget-minded guns that we can get a hold of that won't cost us a ton of money? We tried to keep the price points on these guns around $250. So, Ray, why don't we start out with what we've got here, a small selection.
And we kept in mind, too, that ammunition cost would be a factor, so we tried to keep the things a little bit more common as far as caliber selections. So, at first here, we've got the M9130 Mosin. You guys are probably familiar with that if you watch our channel because we are big fans of these rifles. They're high quality, they're inexpensive, and they're prolific on the market these days. You can get a wide variety of different conditions, but for the most part, for under $200, you can get a really good shooting rifle that's capable of pretty much taking any kind of game that walks, crawls, or flies North America, as well as just being a lot of fun to shoot just on the backyard range.
Sure. You know, I've always been a big fan of the Mosin, and you know, I'm sure I can speak for Ray when I say this, but a lot of us got into gunsmithing at a relatively young age. I got into gunsmithing somewhat unofficially when I was around 16, 17 years old. I kind of got really deeply interested in working on guns, and one of the only ways that I could actually further my skills as an amateur gunsmith is I used to have a curio and relic license, and I would call up Century and I'd order the U-Fix'ems. All right, out of the U-Fix'em bin, you could order a parts gun for like 40 bucks.
Yeah.
And it'd have all kind of broken crap on it, but it was a good way for you to practice, like, you know, like if I wanted to grab a barreled action and practice like carding the metal to polish it, to blue it, or if I wanted to practice stock repairs or refinishing a stock, I didn't have to worry about buying some prized gun I was going to ruin when I could just order from the U-Fix'em pile. And then sometimes you order you about 5 or 6 U-Fix'ems, and then you can turn those around and make about 2 or 3 good guns out of them. So
absolutely.
Definitely, you know, Century doesn't do that anymore because obviously, you know, that's been quite a while. But the Mosin is a great gun. As Ray said, they are very capable guns. They'll take any game on North America with the right ammunition, and they certainly are a budget-minded gun that can be had for well under $2 I'm going to show you the next one. Now, I've always been a really big fan of having some type of a shotgun for survival. When people ask me, you know, hey, what is the most universal gun for survival or just home defense or anything, it is really, really hard to beat a topper. Okay, this is a little topper. It's an H&R. Very cool little guns. It's an auto-eject, single-shot shotgun. This particular one is a 3-inch 410. However, you can get these in 12-gauge, 20-gauge, 16-gauge. Of course, our 10 gauges that we're always using.
SB2s and 10 gauge.
Yeah.
These are cool guns, and especially in the larger calibers, like say 12 gauge. The neat thing about that is you can buy the chamber inserts and shoot other calibers in them if you have you know, a need for that, like 22 rimfire, 9mm, 45s, and such from a couple of different companies that make these inserts. So the 12 gauge can be many different things at one time for not a lot of money. You figure on maybe 150 to 200 bucks for a brand new version of this, and a double handful of conversion cartridges for maybe another 100 bucks, and you got something pretty cool there, as well as being able to shoot flares, shoot bird shots, slugs, and any variety of non-lethal as well.
Yeah,
so
I mean, if you're only going to spend, you know, a few $100 on a shotgun, it is really, really tough to beat a little topper. You guys might have saw the video we did about the little 410 that could. Barry and I did a video on, we were cramming all kind of random things into a 410 shotgun. These guns are very overbuilt, they're very well made, they're very strong, they can handle a lot of abuse, and like Ray said, with the chamber inserts, you give yourself a wide variety of loadings that can be had out of a 12 gauge. 12 gauge is already such a chameleon of a load, because you have all the different birdshot types. You've got number 4 buck, double aught buck, triple aught buck, slugs, and anything in between. Everything from dragon's breath to flares to arrows, all kind of flechettes. I mean, the sky is the limit with a 12 gauge. And for those of you that don't have a ton of money to spend, if you got 150 bucks laying around and you don't mind dropping a little bit of money, you can't beat a little H&R topper, especially like a lot of shops have them used all the time.
All the time.
You
always
get them for
see
like
these.
99 bucks.
Yeah, and they may not be the prettiest. This little 410 shows a little wear and tear because it's a used gun, but mechanically they're just fine.
Sure.
Nothing wrong with it. You know, nothing, a little bit of TLC won't help out. You know, if you're into doing a little bit of your own stock repairs and refinishing work and everything, you can make it look brand new again.
Yeah, and same thing on those Mosins. I mean, you can take a Mosin, if it's a little rough, if it doesn't have too many bad dings, I mean, you can sand the stock a bit, refinish it, redo the metal, and you can make them look very nice. And also, guys, not to go and step in the different direction here, but with the Mosins, I do have, or Ray and I both have, excellent videos on ways to accurize and do trigger work on the Mosin. So if you guys want to buy a project gun that has a solid bore, a good sight action, there's plenty of ways to make the gun shoot significantly better. If you want to check out those videos in the description box below. Ray, why don't you tell them about the third rifle we have here?
These are a little Cricket. This is made by Keystone, and the quality of the guns are excellent. They're small and mainly for small statured, either adults or for children, as a nice training gun. They're single shot. You just drop one in the chamber, close the bolt, and it's got a striker mechanism that you have to manually cock. The guns themselves are very high quality, all US made, and they come in a variety of formats, either in stainless like this one with a wood stock, or you can get them in blued finish with synthetic stocks and a variety of different colors. But generally they run around $200 or less, and the quality is excellent. They're very accurate. We've seen these guys hit 18-inch gongs at 400 yards, and we've got video to prove it.
I know, and we've actually done a full review on the Keystone Cricket rifle. We've had a very good relationship with Keystone over the years. They're very good people. They're all veteran owned and operated. So in my mind, I like supporting not only American companies, but veteran owned and operated companies. They certainly are a great bunch of people. They make a great little product for the money, and they don't charge a ton of money for them. If you guys are interested, we do have a full video on some of the nicer crickets. If you want to check it out, the video is in the description box below. This has been pretty convenient in that regard.
Yeah, it is.
And if you guys are interested in seeing a Mosin torture test, we've also done tons of torture testing on the Mosins if you're curious to see how strong those guns are. Yeah. So we were getting down to some of our other selections when we were coming apart guns that we think are budget-minded. And Ray was like, well, you know, hey, what about an AR receiver? So, you know, $100 and you can get a stripped Anderson. Okay, so you may not be able to buy a firearm today, but oh no, actually you can. This is what is considered the firearm. For $100, you got everything besides the rest of the parts you need to build an AR. You can build this a piece at a time, just like Johnny Cash said. All right, you're going to build it one piece at a time.
You can make it anything you want, from a 22 to a 5.56, 300 blackout. You can even make it into a 410 shotgun.
Yep. There's
a lot of different options available and tons of quality parts. And you just pick up a piece here and a piece there, you know, that way you don't have to blow the budget all at once. You can
That's right.
just pick it up as you have time and money for it.
That's right. Now you're going to spend multiples of hundreds of dollars to build a quality AR. However, once you have the basic receiver, you've got the heart of the gun, and you can add everything else. You know, then the next couple of weeks or month later, whenever you can save the extra money, you go buy your upper, then you buy your barrel. You know, then you might go in, you might buy 4 or 5 magazines, you might buy your bolt carrier group, and just start nickeling and diming your parts, and before you know it, you've got an AR, and you didn't really feel the sting of having to buy the whole gun.
Exactly.
So guys, that's something to consider.
Yep.
Last but not least, Ray.
Yep. This is going to be the little Celtic Pf9. This is a very nice little gun for the budget-minded that might want to carry a self-defense or just a regular trail gun if you hike a lot or bike a lot. It's nice and flat. It's very narrow. It has, I believe, 7 rounds capacity and standard 9mm, and it's all US made and very easy to maintain and very high quality. They have lifetime warranty, and the guns shoot very nicely. They're sized small enough where they're very convenient to carry, yet large enough to give your hand a nice grip so that you can control the gun when you're firing it. It's got decent sights on it, come with a 3-dot sight set, and they come in black and green like this one, and I believe they also come with a hard chrome slide. But the guns themselves work great. They generally sell for close to $300. They vary from place to place, but we've sold a lot of these, and you almost never get any complaints about them other than the fact that they might want it to hold more ammo, but you know, it's not really meant for that. It's a nice concealed weapon, and it's an excellent gun for personal defense.
Yeah, it's an excellent everyday carry gun, and that's what, you know, this gun is intended to be. And remember, guys, when it comes to these videos, you guys should know that both in our range tests, our range reviews, our torture tests, everything that we've always put out to you guys, we try to be honest and forthcoming. And we don't try to showboat or be macho about what's a good gun. I mean, you don't need a $1,000 H&K. You don't need a $2,000 semi-auto rifle to do the trick. I mean, if you apply proper principles to shooting, understand the limitations of any gun you buy, you don't have to spend a ton of money to get a good quality gun. I mean, here's another example. I know this is 5 guns, but the gun that I'm carrying in my pocket, I've got one of these little alloy frame Macs, and it's just a standard little Makarov. It's actually got some dust bunnies on it, but this is one of the lightest Makarovs ever brought into the country in an alloy frame configuration. Very lightweight, 9x18 caliber. Yes, it only holds 6 shots, but this gun cost me $200 with 2 mags.
Yeah,
all right, and you don't have to carry some expensive pistol.
You don't have to, no.
To get the job done. I mean, I've been known to carry like little Beretta Minxes on a regular basis. If I'm feeling really lazy, I'll carry little 22 short Beretta Minx, but it beats carrying nothing. Those guns can be had for well under $200. So guys, don't be scared to hit up the local markets. Talk to people at gun shows. Talk to people on you know, the Outdoor Trader and other websites like that where people have a community of folks that sell guns to each other. There's nothing wrong with buying a gun from an individual if you have to as well. So, you know, hit up the mom and pop shops, hit up the pawn shops. You know, yes, there are deals to be had in shops, but don't be scared to hit up, you know, your fellow neighbors too. Sometimes somebody might want to sell a gun and, you know, they don't mind letting it go for a few $100.
That's very true. You never can tell. There's always opportunity out there. You just have to be ready for it when it shows up. That's
right. Well, guys, we hope that this video was pertinent and somewhat educational for you. We tried very hard to keep these selections as budget-minded as we possibly could. We know that right now money for many, many people is tough right now. You know, there's not as many jobs floating around. People are losing their jobs on a regular basis. And, you know, right now a lot of people are really spent when it comes to their money because you got kids graduating, they got kids going to college right now, there's family vacations, you're spending tons of money, there's not a lot of disposable income. So hopefully this is a way for you to still get in some heat and not spend a whole ton of money and get in heat with your significant other.
Heat with your spouse, right?
That's right. Exactly. Guys, we appreciate you watching our video today. We have many more videos on the way for you. I know Ray and I have been in the shop trying to catch up on gun work and catch up on
doing some gunsmithing videos.
Some gunsmithing videos.
We got a few interesting ideas and stuff that I'm sure you guys are going to enjoy.
Absolutely. Guys, we appreciate your time. Thanks for watching today, and we'll catch you next time.